Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. So a little bit excited here. I'm showing you some packs that I've received in the letterbox from Vintage Blend Studio. As you know by now, Susanna's become quite a chum, so whenever she does a pack, I'm just like beside myself and, have to indulge. So she has done a cream and a white one after me pestering her a little bit and says I'm sure she'd have goodies in her stashes. Could she put together a cream and a white, because laces from different parts of the country or the world are just add to the texture of pieces. So I'm always on a hunt for fellow Etsy store folk with YouTubes to put together some packs that are sort of just a little bit different to what I'm finding around my environment of shopping. And the sweet lady has put in a little card. As you know, it's been a pretty tough week here, and Susanna's just been a shoulder to lean on many a time, so she has done a little stitchery. Now, I did ask her to join me in my stitchery club, the swap that we're doing with Arty Farty Annie Claxton, but she's a busy girl. She's got too many undone projects, so she's trying to get her Jessie Chorley panel finished so that she can get that over to the People Choice Award that Jessie's holding. Heaps of things going on, and she's busy planning a fantastic project for next year, kicking off in January. So enough about all of those little things. I just want to get my nose into these packs. Now, I just checked her website. She has the packs up, they're listed. This one is the cream lace pack. This is the cream lace pack. Sorry, the white lace pack, the cream lace pack. And then this is the English one. She's been talking about these English fabrics for some time, and she's finally got her missing parcels, has put together a beautiful pack. So I'm very keen to get in amongst it. And she's also sent me a special little side pile of goodies that I'll have a look through in a moment. So let's, first of all, I did have a sneaky look in here. I couldn't help myself to see what she did. So I thought we'll start with the card. So isn't it just stunning? These are the colours that I sent the girls in my little stitchery swap group. I've never really put blue and the chocolate and the pink together, but I sort of dance around these combinations on their own. So as you know from my project for the Roxy treasure hunt, I've got those linens, and there's the pinks, the blues and the neutrals. So I found a stitchery on Pinterest that was like a colour wheel that went through these colours, and that was part of my inspiration that I sent the fellow stitchers. And look what she's done. Oh my goodness. So these laces, she's written a little card here. I won't read it out because it's going to make me cry, so we're going to skip all those little nice bits. And she says the lace is from England. The pink fabric is a vintage quilt. I think I have a little bit of those pinks in a pack I bought from her a little while back. So from Paris, you'll recognise the floral fabric. See, I didn't see you get that in Paris, Susanna. When we hit that flea market, I went one way and she went another. We were flat out communicating because we were just beside ourselves in the environment we just landed. So I lost her, I lost Marianne, I lost Chelsea. We just all scattered. So I didn't see you buy that. Absolutely beautiful. And then a little bit of ticking up here. Oh, she's so sweet. Hugs and kisses. Oh, she's so sweet. Now, this little wren is from her website. You can buy this little PDF. That is so sweet. What a cutie. Oh, wouldn't it be nice that when all these squares arrive, I stitch a little bird on them? That'd be a fun little way to tie all of these squares together, is add a little bird, or if the room allows. It may not, because, I know my squares, they wouldn't be able to fit that on mine because I've done this encrusted swish of things across my square. Oh, Susanna, look at that vintage piece there. Well, we're going to have to find a home for you. Thank you so much for the card. Lovely. Oh, goodness. For those of you who don't know and you're wondering why I've had a tough week, unfortunately, I lost my Casper. He was my cat. Yesterday, the vet sent a card in the mail. Oh, my goodness. And it even had a Burmese, a creamy coloured Burmese on the front looking out a window. It definitely wasn't Casper. And it had a little bit of dark points around the ears, so it certainly wasn't exactly my cat. But oh my goodness, I'm at the letterbox and suddenly I'm like got tears in my eyes. Oh, it's terrible. It was so sweet of them to do that. Anyway, let's stay focused and have a little look here. So Vintage Blend Studios is the name of Susanna's YouTube. Her actual website is vintageblendstudio.bigcartel.com. I'll put those details in the description like you do. So I'll just sit that to one side. I'm dying to have a look at the cream one. Oh, just to have some different things. Look at that lace. Just to have some different items to play with. Like, I've been stockpiling Susanna's little fabric packs for some time. And I've been in the process. How do you get into it, Susanna? Goodness sakes. You shouldn't be making it that hard for me. Here it is. Yeah, as I was saying, I've bought a heap of those big plastic tubs that you can pop your projects in. Let me show you one. Look, I'm getting sidetracked. Now, for the ladies that are in Australia, Riot Craft have them. And I've bought some labels from Officeworks, and I'm using a chalk pencil just to write on there what's inside. So I've got a stack of them now. I use them for projects and I use them for collections of fabrics. So for example, I've got one for ticking, numerous for lace, as you can imagine. Liberty Fabrics, Lucello Fabrics, French General, William Morris, even one that holds all of the iron-on transfer products and my tracing paper. So I can just grab it at ease. Fabrics with music. Gosh, I've got sidetracked. Fabrics with music, fabrics with text, Tilda, vintage florals. Now, this is where Susanna tends to fall into that container. I've even got fabric packs. Like, for example, this pack, I would probably just put it straight into the fabric packs and leave it packaged. When Sarah did those packs for the Christmas project, remember she did the blue one, and I think there was another colour, I can't remember now, but I bought the blue one. It's still together in a box, and I use them as just inspiration from someone else. So I can just grab them and start a project, and it's not something that I've put together, and often it just opens up other creative ideas. So bits of camphor quilt, vintage quilts, I'm trying to divide my fabric stash into usable piles. So when I focus on, say, camphor quilts, it's all there and I can just go for it. Or I want a piece of camphor quilt for a back, and then I adding, lace and things to it. So I'm trying to get a little bit more organised. Anyway, sorry, Susanna, how sidetracked do we get on these fabric channels, I tell you. Let's have a little look. So we've got some gorgeous piece of lace. Oh, these pieces here, I often unpick them and then open them up, and they're just fantastic little elements to put into things, even just cutting out that tiny little flower. You know what I'm like, I collage pieces together. So I'm always looking for laces that I can remove little morsels out of them. So if you see this lace, now it's been around forever, and it's probably the 70s and 80s, but if you see this at a op shop or something, grab it, because unpick it and break it down. There's some fantastic little elements in that. So I'm so pleased you put a bit of that in, Susanna. I don't have any of the cream left. Aren't they unusual? They feel old. Imagine those all built up with creams and then pearls and things inside. Oh, love that. Oh, I know where I'm going to put that. I know exactly where I'm going to put that. I've been thinking about doing another snippet roll, and they're only about that wide. I used 2 in the down the garden path, and pieces like that are perfect to attach to the end. Here, I've got one actually here prepped, ready to go. So I've got my felt on. Whoops. I've got the felt on ready, and then a little piece like that, just stitch it up. Like, seriously, could it be any better in size? Lovely. It's a lovely way to end a snippet roll. Snippet rolls are just great to use scrap bits and pieces too when you're starting to build. Oh boy, when you start, look at that, starting to build up bits and pieces. Oh, where do you find this stuff, Susanna? I swear Brisbane's just too small, and we're all in there. We're all picking away. Oh, that's so pretty. Especially, you don't often see it inserted like that, a little crocheted element. It's even got cut work in it. Lovely. Oh, look at you. I've got a few of these in my collection. They're so pretty. Oh, lovely little edged piece of fabric. That would work really well in my vintage piece. That little edge would be really pretty poking out from something. Oh, this stuff's great. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. And even this netting, just little pieces of this tucked in. Have I got a flower somewhere? Gosh, now I'm getting sidetracked again. Here's some bits and pieces of flowers left from French General. This was down the garden path, the French one. Like little morsels of this netting in under little flowers that have been fussy cut out just to create that texture. They're so handy. And to get a rose, you don't often see roses. Gosh, imagine what the big piece looked like. Oh, look at this. Oh, these edges are great. Just to line down the side of something. Oh, that's good. That's very generous. 2 big pieces. Oh, I knew I'd love this cream pack. Look at this old girl. That's a bit of a treasure. Oh, my goodness. And then she always pops in a piece of fabric on the background to hold all of her treasures. Oh, lovely. I hope the light's good enough for you guys. I've got the western sun coming into the side of my craft room, so I hope there's enough light for you to see. When I put my overhead, you know, your ceiling lights on, it got really shiny, everything. So I've turned it off so you can get more of a feel for, oh, that's so pretty, the mix of colours here, and that they're, you know, a nice soft cream. That's a very pretty pack. Thank you, Susanna. Oh, I've forgotten 2 pieces. Oh, now it's not going to look as good as Susanna had it. Oh, well, that's the way it is. Once it disappears into the abyss, it's lost forever. Now, how do I get into this? So this is the white one. So if you're into dyeing fabrics, you're always on the look for white elements that can run through. See another one? See the flowers on the end of that? See, when I first started slow stitching, I'd avoid laces like this because it sort of reminded me so much of my childhood. But those little flowers cut out and then stitched with some beads or some French knots in the centre, just gorgeous. See, it's like, yeah, love that. I love that lace. You often pick this up around in op shops as part of blouses. Must have been a bit of a trend back in the day because it's like a cotton that they've stitched onto this tulle, and then you get this really soft tulle, and that's great for just cutting little circles out of with French knots and beads. Like, there's so much just in that bit. That's why you don't need much of stuff. You need a variety of stuff. Oh yeah, beautiful. Just those petals. If you were to cut each one of those out, then that is your statement piece, and then brought in something else with it, you could build quite a large display just with that. Then come back here and grab a heap of this tulle. Then come back and grab all of these little flowers out, and gosh, there's 3, 6, 9, 10. So there's probably 30 little flowers just on that little piece. You are well on your way. Oh, look at these. You're well on your way to creating a panel, a slow stitch piece. Oh gosh. And then back it onto some of these elements. I love it when they stitch on with those cottons. There's something very antique about it, even if it's not, 100 years old or 200 years old. You sort of get that feel, because those types of fabrics are starting to get look at the butterflies, very expensive. Oh, where do you get this stuff? Oh, this girl, she has got some good resources around her. Oh, look at you. Look at the lace. Oh, this white pack is good. Oh, Susanna, how could you part with it? Oh, I don't know if I'd ever do fabric packs because I can't part with it. Plus, everything's just about being chopped into. I just want to play with it all. Oh, look at all that work. That's a Hello Bandit. That is a beautiful piece. Oh, I might have to just put that out straight away. I can see. Oh, look at this. Oh, how fine is that for a hanky? Oh, they're so pretty. Look at all that embroidery around there. And squares. See, squares are hard to come by. They just add a whole different element to your little stitcheries, having some squares, rectangles. It's sort of, a different shape. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Can never have enough of this. Love the scallop edges. You've seen my work. I use this stuff all the time. You don't need a lot of it. Look at you, aren't you? Oh, I'll slow down. One piece at a time. Oh, you're pretty. Look at those. Oh, wow. Gee, I know where that's going to go. That would work in well with my mannequin. To me, that feels a bit bridal. Yeah, I need to put that with the mannequin pile. Isn't this unusual? Oh, look at these. See, those little bits there are really, even this ruched piece on top of that, if that was cut off, say about 1 inch, you'd have a great little element, and then embroidered flowers down it, or cut it up even smaller. What an interesting piece. Oh my goodness me. Just ideas scooting through my head. I've got to start using these packs too. Like, seriously, I've got to stop hoarding. It's a definite issue, but it's all good. It's having that variety, I think, really helps the creative process, when you can go to a little stash and go, right, I only have a bit, but what can I do? What else can I add to make it sort of go a little bit further? That's the challenge of it. Gee, that's a pretty fabric. How did they do that blue? Is that just tinted fabric? Looks like it. See, we can so do that. Yeah, that is. They've used an ink just to highlight those little elements within that lace. Probably should try doing that. Okay, that's the white pack. You've seen the cream pack. I'm dying to have a look in here at the English fabrics. Now, Susanna was with me in Paris, but then went on to England and spent a couple weeks house sitting for her brother. And in the process, She went shopping. Oh gosh, there's some unusual ones there. Look at those little ones. They're so handy to go in flowers and things. Oh boy, one day I'm going to get to her craft room and I'm going to have a good look, because I would say it is chock-a-block with treasures. We need more fabric kits, Susanna. Keep digging through your treasures. Oh, aren't you a pretty girl? I might put those straight with the white lace pack, because then they're sort of with their sisters, ready for a project one day. Okay, let's have a look. Sanderson fabrics. Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. Gee, these are getting expensive around the world. My goodness, it's like suddenly the world's caught on to this slow stitch, and just beautiful old fabrics, classic images are just being snappled up everywhere. Oh, look at this one. I'm really starting to get a nice selection of floral prints in the vintage department. Oh, look at another. A lightweight Sanderson. Oh, aren't you a beautiful? Oh my goodness. Oh, Susanna. Oh, imagine that embroidered. See, oh, think of the threads that you could pull out in those tones. Oh, I just had an idea. Do we need another project? Oh my goodness, girl. Let's just see. I'll put it over there. Let's just keep looking. Look at those. Oh my goodness. Even with the, oh, look at this. I remember buying a pack from Susanna that there was a real shiny fabric, and it sort of reminded me of this, and it was in the teals with the roses. It was part of a sewing caddy or a heart. Oh, it's beautiful. There might even be some still on her website. I wonder if I can put my hand on it. No, I can't. Oh, goodness, stay focused, girl. It's sending me off on a tangent of ideas. Oh, look at that. I like these heavier fabrics too. They really stand up to being embroidered. The newer quilt fabrics do as well. Don't get me wrong. They can all be fussy cut out and then stitched down, and then you start embellishing by thread painting in all of these little colours and adding your pearls and little bits of lace. Like, oh, it's so much fun. Oh, look at that. The reds and the golds. So beautiful. And oh, how fresh is this? Oh, look, I tell you, I've got an idea. Like, that's really vibrant. I've got an idea. Imagine a piece where we stitch through the seasons. So to me, this screams spring. You could even go brighter. This to me screams winter. Now, winter in Australia, we don't get snow, but it gets dreary-ish. But white flowers with these greys would be beautiful. And I guess autumn, we could even go into the reds and the ochres and the yellow, the golden sorts of fabrics. And then summer, well, nice and bright. Okay, all right. So how do the seasons roll? We've got, for us in Australia, we're coming out of winter. So our spring kicks off. Oh, there's another piece of fabric there. Our spring kicks off on the 1st of September. So September, October, November is spring. Then summer kicks in December, January, February. Then we have our autumn, March, April, May, and then winter, June, July, August. Now, you guys on the Northern Hemisphere are slightly different. You would be going into autumn when I'm going into spring. So, okay, what if, oh, look, okay, let me just pack this away. Okay, we're going to start a project. I've got to start using some of these vintage fabrics. I've got to start chopping into them. And if you guys want to join me, start gathering your vintage fabrics. That is winter for me. That's going to be winter. So what I'm thinking, where's that, where's the piece that I started for Susanna as a gift for being such a sweetheart in the last week? Hang on, I'll go grab it. I'm going to grab a blank piece of paper because I want to plan this project out, because I just want to, that's Susanna's piece. Okay, there. Now I did that on video a couple of days ago. Hang on, guys. Just grabbing a piece of paper. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to start this on the 1st of spring for me. So if you guys are in the Northern Hemisphere and the 1st of September for you is autumn, you'll be looking for floral fabrics, old or new, that are autumn tones. Now, if you're lucky enough to have around you an area that is really deciduous and they literally go really goldens and reds and things like that, oh, lucky, lucky you. I'm not so much that. Our trees don't really change, our gum trees, through the seasons, not to any great degree, unless you have in your garden some maples and things that would change their colours, but I don't. But I can imagine it. And this fabric that is even here in Susanna's, I'd be tempted to play with those tones for autumn and bring in a lot more gold. So, okay, let's clear the deck here. I've been thinking about this piece. Now, I haven't stitched it yet. That's the plan over the next week, is to get it all stitched down. But I really like the way that I've created a scene here that's about the size of a dinner plate. So maybe we could do the same with the seasons, and we start on the 1st of September. Now, how do we present it? What about we hang it on a rolling pin? If you remember back, I was gathering rolling pins for the Roxy down the garden path, but I didn't end up doing it because my French garden just got so big. So I still have a few rolling pins that I purchased on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, for not much money. They've got no family connection to me, so I was, happy to sort of use them in a project. So let's use this one of Susanna's here as a bit of an idea. Just let me think it through a little. Yeah, so this is the same principle as our snippet rolls. About the size of a dinner plate. What is this rolling pin? Let me grab tape. Oh my goodness, a tape measure. My desk has just got messy because I'm about to start another project. For goodness sakes. Okay. So this rolling pin is 9.5 inches. That'd be pretty good. So what's a piece of paper? About 8.25. So you could even do it a little less. And then you'd see the timber of the rolling pin peeking through. That'd be pretty. Okay. So you've got a couple options. This panel will roll up on your rolling pin, okay? We're going to use this piece of paper as an example. So I guess you need to have a think about what is the first thing you see as it unrolls? For me, that is going to be spring. So let's get that out of the way. I need a pen. So let's say half of an A4 page. Like, we don't want to create too much work for ourselves because it just gets bigger than being a her. Let's say it's 8 1/4 by 6 1/2, 7 maybe. I guess depending on how many fabrics you can get your hands on, you might want to do a small little version. I know there's some itty bitty rolling pins out there. How big is this piece? If that is winter, see the size is perfect. Look at you. Oh, that's my size. I don't have to do anything else. So what is that? That's 8. Okay. My rolling pin is 9, nearly 10 inches wide. Say 9 1/2. But my fabric going onto it is going to be around 8 inches. It might grow a little bit. Let's say I want to put some lace trims beside it. Where's that lace pack of Susanna's here with that crocheting piece? Like, they're perfect for... I can't believe I'm starting another project. Susanna, oh, she'll be cacking herself laughing because we've been chatting about her treasury project, the treasure hunt, and I've convinced her she needs to do something with that mannequin of hers that she's had sitting there holding a couple of really beautiful pieces of vintage clothing, and then work onto the vintage clothing. And I think she's about to announce her 3rd monogram because I keep saying, oh, but what if it was this colour? Oh, but what if it's this colour? So she's like, Corrine. And then she goes back and stitches another monogram with another colour range, and it's another project. So it's been hilarious. Anyway, she's been a great giggle this week, let me tell you. So what I'm saying is, if I keep my stitching to about that 8 inch, I've still got room to play on my rolling pin to add some beautiful laces and bits and bobs to build on the perimeter of my project. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to go as wide as the pin. Now, I've got a few different pins in my collection, rolling pins that is, so you should be able to find something out there if you don't have one already from, you know, back in the day. So the plan is then, let's nut this out. So each season we start a new stitchery, so that gives us plenty of time to do it, 3 months. So let's picture it. It's 4 panels. I hope you're listening, Susanna, because you're going to have to do this too, you know. She'll be like, no. I need to draw that a little bit better. So for me in Australia, I'm going to start with spring. Then I'll be going on to summer, then on to autumn, and then on to winter. So that's how mine will roll, only because I'm starting on the 1st of spring. So if in the future you find this video and you want to join in the project, have a think about your seasons, and you might start summer, you might start autumn, you might start winter, and then depending on where you are in the world. So the plan is then each panel, whatever that size is that you wish to do, and don't get me wrong, you could easily do, if you had one of these little spindles, like what I've been using for snippet rolls for ages, there's no reason why you couldn't do a section that was each season. And then, because this is only 4 inches, so that would be very achievable in a couple months, just to section it out and, you know, work your piece. Now, this piece of felt that I've got here is the width that comes from the shop. So I'm going to fold that in half and in half again, So that would give me a piece 22 centimetres or 9 inches. So 9 inches by 4 is your seasons for a smaller version of what I'm planning to do. And then you would say, okay, let's say this is winter. This is the fabric that I'm going to choose. I would then have a look at my design and position a piece of fabric to suit and then embroider away. Imagine this all with ribbon and threads and oh my goodness. I can't believe that one piece of fabric has sparked this. I would say that that pack that I referred to of Susanna's that I bought ages ago, and I'm just looking through my fabric boxes. I think it is here. Hang on one second. So this is where I keep all of my packs that I've bought from other folks. Yeah, this is a Susanna little pile that I've been stashed. I think it was a heart. See, look at those. So what season would you say they are? See, imagine the possibilities. Is that summer or spring? It sort of feels like spring to me. So I've got to stop stockpiling, haven't I? Oh my goodness. Let's have a quick look. Dollhouse Vintage. There's another pack I bought from Debbie in England. So there might even be something in there. There's the pack I got from Sarah Christmas last year, and I still haven't even gone into it. Some more fabrics from Susanna. Now, I think she's still got a couple of these packs left, but not many. So if you haven't had a chance to grab that, see, there's another pack from Susanna. Oh, for goodness sake. See what I mean? We're going to use them. We're going to get in amongst it. Oh, look at that piece too. This was the pack. This is a Susanna. Can't you tell I'm a bit of a fan? Yeah, this is a project where you embroider this piece to make this heart. And there's her little pattern. I wonder if there's any of those in her store. I do apologise if I've just shown you something and you've fallen in love with it, that heart, and there's none left. Susanna's going to kill me. But if there are some there, you might be able to snag one, but I'm just not sure. I should have checked that before I go and show you that. That was 12 months ago, so you might be lucky, you might not. Okay, all right. This is the plan. So on September the 1st, I will start a new project. It's going to be about the seasons, and I'm going to get into my stash and I'm going to use these pieces. This is going to be winter, so we've got winter sorted. I'll need to go hunting for something very autumnal, but we've got time. Spring and summer should not be an issue. I'm surrounded by fabrics that are those tones. Let me just have a little look at the stash, the extra goodies that she sent me, because there might be something. See, there's some more lace. Isn't that fine? Put them with the white packs. Oh, hello. Oh, we've got that already in the other pack. Oh, these are just some bits and bobs left over. You always have random pieces left over when you've been cutting up for packs. That could so be summer or spring. Yeah. So I've got plenty. Surely I do not need to go buy any more fabrics. I know I've got quite a stash of similar fabrics from Purveyor of Reclaimed Textiles, Melanie. So I'd be pretty confident that I could find something for my other seasons. The only one that I think might be a challenge, but that's okay because that allows me to go looking, is this one. Now I'm just looking at my bucket here. These are like scraps of fabrics left over from projects. That there is a new fabric. It's a Riley Blake. That could even be an autumn, couldn't it? Do a blue and a blue and a yellow. But anyway, we've got time. I don't have to make decisions on the fabrics for the month until I'm ready to actually stitch it. And I guess too, depending on how they all come together. Look, I'm just ratting through some of these fabrics. I think these are from a pack I got from Rachel. Some of these. Yeah, I believe so. Okay. All right, so that's the plan. So if you want to join in, I'd love to have you stitch along. We're going to paint with thread. We're going to bead. We're going to add trims of lace in there to make these flowers very dimensional. So if that's something you want to have a play with, you've got a bit of time to gather your thoughts and work on your first season, whether that be the Aussie girls, spring, or the folks on the Northern Hemisphere, autumn. So 1st of September, we'll kick off. That's the start of a season. So we've got a little bit of time. Have a think about your backing fabric to go over your spindle. I'm going to use calico or muslin if you're overseas in America. It's the cheapest and it's really good to stitch with. So I'll just rip a piece slightly less than the edge, and then I will tack on my first panel, and I'll probably position this guy on so then he doesn't get lost in my room and never to be seen again. And this, I think, is going to help me stay focused on the look that I want, because this in itself is just a beautiful piece. So that's the plan. Now you will need to probably add a little extra length so that when your first image, let's say this is your first one, you've got some fabric there that can go up and over and attach it to this. And then you might even want to stitch in here the seasons or something. You might have something you want to write a verse. Maybe there's a nice verse out there that talks about the seasons. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we can find something. I'll have a hunt. You guys have a hunt. Let me just write that down in my notes. A verse. And that could be the top or the bottom, wherever you wanted to place it. The possibilities. But look, at the end of the day, don't worry too much about the top of your piece at this stage, because we can always just add on a piece of fabric and then go off onto whatever you want. You might decide just to make a spread in a book. You could concertina the pages, just the 4 pages, the seasons. Celebrate the seasons. You could even write that there, Corrine. There's a space to write something. The other thing you might want to do is go through your doilies. You might have a doily that encapsulates the season. Like, isn't that screaming spring? So you might want to start your piece with a doily that is one of the seasons, and then start the actual season. So if I put underneath this one, there goes Susanna, you need to use this as your topper. Gosh, she's going to kill me. Then comes in the piece that would be for me, a spring. And then as you roll down through, you've got everything you need to sort of create a heading. You might then just put a rod or a hanger behind this and not do the rolling pin and just have it hanging as the seasons. Okay, guys, there you go. We're off on another tangent, down another rabbit hole. What do we call it? Let's celebrate the seasons. That sounds good. Yeah, that'll do. Let's Celebrate the Seasons is the name of the series. 1st of September is my spring. And in the meantime, I'll find some springish flowers. Doesn't have to be a full piece like this. You might want to cut out numerous pieces like I did, like this, and just piece them together, and that becomes your piece. I might do that for spring, actually. I wonder if I could track down another bird. Have I got more of that? That was from Bed and Bath, or Bath and Bed, an Australian company that sells linen. Yes, I do. Here we go. Look, I have a panel of this. This was a pillow slip for a 90 centimetre pillow, and I used half of it in the down the garden path, and I've got this little piece left. So I think I'll use a bit of that and create a floral clump with the birds, and then, yeah, embroider accordingly. Then the next and the next and the next. So there you go. Okay. Gee, thanks, Susanna, for your gorgeous packs. Thanks for inspiring me into a new project, which I'm hoping you'll join me in, young Susanna, and all my fellow YouTube girlies out there. Oh, goodness me. Look at the fabrics. So I think that's enough. I think that is just gorgeous. So if any of these catch your eye, head over to Susanna, grab yourself a pack, pop it in your stash, because you never know. Look at those flowers. What season is that? Goodness me. Anyway, stay focused, girl. All right, I will leave you alone, and have a happy Saturday, because this video will be coming out on Saturday. Have a great weekend. Hope you get lots of stitching done, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.